Hey guys, hi. Welcome to the CS Matter YouTube channel. I am your friend Pankaj and in this video we will see Memo in React. So let's see the theoretical part first. Using Memo will cause React to skip rendering a component if its props have not changed, and this can improve performance. So what it is saying, using Memo will cause React to skip rendering a component. It will skip rendering a component if its props have not changed. When it skip rendering a component if its props have not changed. And this can improve performance. So this was the theoretical part, but we will see it in practical. So let's dive into the practical. But guys, before diving into the practical, if you are new to this channel, so please subscribe this channel, like this video and share this video so that this video will reach to more and more students and learn it. So guys, this is the app.js file. This is the topmost file in React. Okay. So we will build a program and see how to use Memo in React and how it will skip to render a component if its props have not changed. Okay, so we will build a program for that. So let's build a program. So we will take two constant count, set count, and we will set its initial value using useStateHook to 0. If you have not understand how useStateHook works, I have built a video for that. You can go in the description and click on the link to see how useState work in React. So now we have set initial value of count, this variable count, to 0. Okay, and again we will take a constant to do and set to do. Okay, and in this we will use useState and will set some to do's like to do 1 and to do 2. Okay, so this is the array, and in this array we have set two values, to do 1 and to do 2. These are the two elements in the array we have set as the initial value of to do. Now let's create a function to increment the counter by 1. Okay, so let's take constant increment, and this is the arrow function. I will make the video for arrow function also, how arrow function works in React. Okay, now we will set count here, and in the set count we increment the count is equal to count plus 1. Okay, let's save it. Now let's remove this one and take a division. Okay, now let's build a to do component. Okay, so that we can fetch the to do component here. Okay, so I am going to the component folder and let's create a new file here as the to do.js. Okay, let's take a constant to do okay is equal to, so in this we will take a properties, means props. This is the props to do. Okay, this to do is this to do. Okay, this is the props, we have taken here. Okay, now let's console.log here, console.log, so that we will understand it is rendering or not. Rendering the child. Okay, now return. Okay, let's map the to do here. Okay, to do dot map as to do index it will return the paragraph. Okay, to do, and let's add a key here. Key will be here index. Now save it and export this constant. Export default to do. Okay, now save it and go to the app.js main file. Now we will fetch the to do component here. Let's make it to do's actually. And save it. Okay, now let's fetch the to do component here. Let's remove this one and also remove this one. Okay, and here we will import the to do's component. Can you see? This is the to do's component. Okay, and in the props and in the to do we will set to do. Okay, let's save it. Let's make it to do's. Let's make it to do's because it is we have multiple to do's, means two to do's, more than one to do, so that we have set to do 0. Okay, let's save it and create a char here. This will create a new line. Okay, let's save it and let's run this program first, how it is working. npm start. Okay, now it will take little time to run. Now it is not rendering because there is something error. Okay, the reason is because this one is small, the t is here small. Okay, so we have to set properties t is small here and also here, because we are going to map the to do's here. Let's save it. Now you can see the component is rendered properly. Okay, let's add a heading here, h1 my to do's. Okay, and let's save it. Now these are the two to do's we are getting from the to do's component. Okay, now we will increment the counter by 1. Okay, so let's take a paragraph. Okay, and we will take count, and here we will set the count. Okay, now take a button on click, it will call the function increment. Okay, let's save it and we are giving increment plus sign Okay, let's save it. This is the button. Okay, and on the on click event it will call the increment function, which increment the counter by 1. Okay, now let's save it. Let's go to the web page. Let's increment the size of this so that you can see well. Let's reload this one. Now can you see the first time to do the render? Here it is showing rendering the child, because we have set console.log here rendering the child. That's why it is showing in the console rendering the child 2 times. Okay, now when we increment the counter, it will again render the to-dos component. Can you see? It is again rendering the to-dos component. This component, to-dos component, which we have access in this add.js, it is rendering again and again. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see here? It is rendering again and again. Okay, so if the component become complex and complex, it will cause the performance issue. So to fix this problem, we have to use Memo. Okay, now let's go to the to do component and wrap this to do in Memo. Okay, so we have to import the Memo from React. So can you see the Memo is imported from the React? Let's save it and again reload the component. Okay, now can you see the component first time rendered, but when I increment the component, can you see the count is increasing, but the component is not rendering. Can you see? Can you see the component is not rendering? Can you see? Okay, but when I remove the Memo and increment the counter, the component is rendering. The component is rendering. Okay, but we will set the Memo and again reload this one, and when I click on this counter, the component is not rendering because the to do component property is not changing, right? That's why when I increment the counter, it is not rendering the to do component again and again. Understood? In the theory, what we have said, using the Memo will cause React to skip the rendering a component if its prof have not changed. Okay, that's why it is not rendering the component again and again, because the component property is not changing. That's why it is not rendering the component again and again. I am incrementing the component here. Can you see the component is not rendering? So guys, this is the use of Memo in React. I hope you understand this video, and I hope you understand how to use Memo in React. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe this channel so that this video will reach to more and more students and learn it.